My mind is blown. I am dazzled. I am in a state of shock. I love football so much. The unpredictable nature of our beautiful game is truly incredible. I would call that a delectable medley of footballing splendour. I thought that was the perfect advert for the Premier League. Top versus bottom, bottom. Looking like they could make history and win at the top of the league for the first time in Premier League history. But Arsenal had other ideas. Late goals have become Arsenal's preferred currency, and they scored more of them today. Like, football is truly unrivaled. Football is unmatched, and this is the only thing that matters now. Arsenal now need to go to the Etihad and they need to win. Arsenal need to win at the Etihad. For such a long time, I've thought that Arsenal could win the league. And part of the reason that I thought that Arsenal could win the league is because they were so impressive so early that they built up a cushion. And that cushion allowed them to go to the Etihad and secure a draw. The draw was theirs. And if you're allowed a draw, you're probably more likely to win the game. If you don't have to go there and force the issue, I think you're more likely to win. If you don't have to win, you're probably going to stand a better chance of winning. Whereas now they have to go to win, which is going to be tough. It's going to be incredibly tough, especially if they defend like they are doing at the moment. But I am not in the market of writing this Arsenal team off. Don't get me wrong. They are no longer favourites. Don't get me wrong. I probably have to concede that I've got it wrong, saying that they can win the league. The fact that they have been so poor for so many games, 3 games. Arsenal have been so poor. They have managed to drop 6 points in 13 days. That is just unacceptable. When it most matters, they really have switched off. And they now have to go to the Etihad and win. But think about their last 3 games. How frustrating if you're an Arsenal fan. They went away to Liverpool. They were winning the game. They were 2-0 up. And they ended up taking a point. Now, look, if you explore that point in isolation, I don't think it's a bad point. Going to Liverpool, I think you can always rationalise a point at Anfield. You can talk about Liverpool. You can talk about the Kop. You can talk about Klopp. You can talk about the brilliance of Firmino and Salah and Van Dijk and whatever. Basically, the point I'm making is a point at Anfield, neither here nor there. So when we look back at Arsenal's last 3 games, the point in Liverpool, I don't think is an issue. Sadly, however, I cannot rationalise the point at West Ham in the same way from an Arsenal perspective. It just is unacceptable. If you go to West Ham and you find yourself in a very privileged position, you're 2-0 up, you're cruising, you're coasting, you need to see the 3 points. You need to win. You need to win the game from that position, particularly when you consider that it's West Ham. They've dropped an awful lot of points this season. They are flirting with relegation. They have one standout player, really. And that one standout player managed to dictate the play and dictate the tempo against a very impressive Arsenal midfield. Declan Rice was head and shoulders above Martin Odegaard, Granit Xhaka, and Thomas Partey. And as a result, the game finished a draw. It was there for Arsenal. Saka missed the penalty. Those moments are so important. And then today, they found themselves a goal down. I don't know what happened to Arsenal, but they found themselves a goal down. Then they found themselves 3-1 down. Then they rallied and they fought and they demonstrated the spirit. You know, this Arsenal team, Arteta's Arsenal team, they do have that. But something is happening. They're choking. When I looked at the players at the end, the camera zoomed in on Odegaard, and then I saw Saka lying prone on the floor. Do you know what it reminded me of? It felt William Gallas at Birmingham. William Gallas sitting in the centre circle at St Andrews. That is how that felt to me. That is exactly how that moment felt. And I don't know if they are going to demonstrate the resilience. I don't know if this team has the fight and the heart and the tenacity to come back from this blow. Like, this is a blow unlike any other. They've demonstrated an ability to come back from issues this season. They lost at Old Trafford and they bounced back. They lost to Man City and they won. They got knocked out of Europe and they bounced back. But Southampton, in this context, off the back of West Ham, off the back of Liverpool, with City still to come, I don't know. And suddenly, the game at the Etihad has transformed. It's moved from a must-not-lose game. They were going there and simply not losing was fine, to suddenly having... It's a must-win game now. They simply must win. And it's so hard to see any way in which Arsenal can claim 3 points at the Etihad if they defend like they did today and like they have done over the past few games. What has made Arsenal so good is their defence this season. But they're choking. Like Thomas Partey tonight. I thought he was so poor. That moment at the end of the game. Look, I didn't want Arsenal to get anything out of this game. I was doing the Ravanelli around my house when the referee blew the full-time whistle. But even I was frustrated with Thomas Partey at the end. You know, when he shot and he's got Martin Odegaard on his inside. Just lay it off. I thought Partey was so poor. Gabriel Jesus, so poor. Even like Odegaard. I think he had a really big rallying few minutes. But over the course of the game, he wasn't good enough. Zinchenko, not good enough. I thought the big players just woefully underperformed and let Arsenal down and let Arteta down. And I don't know what it is. Is it the pressure? Is it the inexperience? Is it the tactics? Have they been overplayed? Did they make a mistake not resting people in the Europa League, not going out the Europa League early? I really don't know what it is. But on a positive side from Arsenal, look, with 2 minutes remaining of the normal 90, Arsenal were trailing by 2 to Southampton, who are, rock bottom of the league. And then what? 120 seconds later, the score is level. And at that point, everything felt possible. There was a moment where anything felt possible. I genuinely believed in that moment, when there was 8 minutes to play, I thought they're going to do it. But there is an issue and something does need to change. Because dropping points the way they are, playing the way they are, defending the way they are, I'm afraid that you simply are not going to win the league playing like that. And this Arsenal team need to sort it out immediately. Because if it continues, they basically have one more chance. They need to go and win. Because basically, taking 3 points from Liverpool, Southampton and West Ham, when you're expecting to win the league, it's not going to cut it. It is not going to cut it. Let me know your thoughts. Is this the seminal moment for you? Is this the moment that you can only see City winning the league? I think it's the moment where I'm going to have to say my prediction that Arsenal were going to do it is now looking shaky. Like I went early on it. I went really early. Said it in September, October. And today is the first time I've thought they are up against it. So let me know your thoughts. As always, really appreciate to hear what you have to say. Thank you for watching this video. Please give it a like. Please click subscribe. By the way, we are inching ever closer to 250,000 subscribers. So if you would do me the honour of clicking subscribe, I would love to welcome you into this community. Let me know your thoughts. I'm going to be in these comments the second this video goes live. In a bit, y'all.